Welcome everybody to our new fishing show. As you can see, I've been fishing since I could even hardly walk. My grandfather managed a fishing resort in northern Wisconsin, so all my summers I spent up there learning how to fish, fishing with him. The people staying there taught me a lot of tips and tricks of the trade. So, I mean, fishing's been in my blood my whole life. Now I'm getting older. I'm using those tips and tricks to get bigger fish, fishing with my buddies and my cousins to catch a lot of big fish, and still today catching some nice fish. Now I'm a father, teaching my kids what I know. They're doing pretty well, as you can see in the pictures, guys. So what I like to do this fishing show is to forward my what I know, forward what my knowledge on to you guys. We'll start with the basics, guys, of just how to fish, and then move on up to how to catch bigger fish, how to find them. We'll get the boat out, and we'll use our old buddy, Mr. Sasquatch here. He's a valid fisherman too. Don't worry, guys, he's a safe guy. We'll chase some of the biggest fish out there. Well, maybe not quite this big, guys, but we'll get you on some big fish. Like I said, we'll start with the beginners, and move on up. Our show's gonna be hook, line, and Sasquatch because of our big furry friend. So if you like our show, guys, click like and subscribe to us. Otherwise, we'll get going with our first ever episode of Hook, Line, and Sasquatch. Thanks for watching, and hopefully keep going with us. Hello, everybody, to our first ever show of Hook, Line, and Sasquatch. Everybody's heard the line, hook, line, and sinker. Well, we want to change it up because we have our big furry friend. So hook, line, and Sasquatch. We're going to go through a lot of different basics, from putting on a reel, line, sinkers, all the way up to how to catch a bigger fish, artificial baits, guys. We'll cover everything in these episodes. First episode, can I introduce myself? Like I said, we're going to do hook, line, and Sasquatch. My name is Kurt. We got our buddy Sasquatch. I'll have the kids out here once in a while helping out. Like today's episode, we're going to do the basics, guys. With the whole COVID-19 thing going on and all this and that, I've been to Walmart and other department stores. Their fishing aisles are gone. They're empty, guys. People are buying it. Here in Wisconsin, I've heard the fishing license sales alone went up 400%. I mean, if you can't go out in public and eat out and this and that, people are finding other things to do, and what better to do is go fishing, guys. Enjoy the lake, enjoy the outdoors. So with fishing license up 400%, people fishing, you go in some of these stores and their shelves are empty, but if you guys want to know how to fish, you can get some just minor supplies. We'll go into how this episode, you want to go fishing, you get out and nobody's really taught you how. I've been fishing for 46 years, guys, ever since I could walk. I can remember fishing, being around water on a boat. So I'll give you my knowledge, basic knowledge first for the beginners. You guys want to fish? Nobody's ever shown you how. You want to? Show you what you need to get just for the basics, guys, to get out there and have some fun. And then like I said, as the episodes evolve, we'll evolve too with how to fish from land, how to fish from a boat, how to fish for bass, crappie, walleye. We'll get into different types of fish if you don't know. I was just up in Minnesota here a couple weeks ago, and catching little rock bass. I mean, they're a type of panfish like a crappie or bluegill, smaller fish. One guy older than me said, "Oh, I heard there was junk fish. I throw them back." I showed him how I filleted them up, guys. You can eat them just as well as anything. Filleting pike, they're a northern pike. A lot of people throw them back because they're too bony. I know how to fillet them where they're boneless, guys. So we'll get into a lot of different types of fishing where you guys can enjoy the outdoors, have fun doing it. It's something that everybody can do together. Anybody can do. So share my information here. Say that we're going to get on the basic bobber fishing, guys. Today I'm just going to set up a basic fishing pole with a line and bobber so you can change the depths, fish 2 feet of water, fishing 20 feet of water. And so what you need to buy. First, get you a pole, guys. You can buy them pretty cheap. I think I got this one at $19.99 at Walmart. That's one thing they did have was a pole. So we're going to start with a basic fishing pole. You don't need a real big one, a real long one. I think this one's 5'6". It's medium heavy. So yeah, medium heavy. That's all you need, guys. This will pull in a crappie, a bluegill, bass, minor fish, all the bigger fish. That's all you need to get started, guys. Is a simple rod, $20. A simple reel. This is a Zebco 202. It'll get you started. That's what I started. Well, I started with a Zebco 76. I'm so old. Jeez, showing my age already, guys. But I had a 76. 202s, I moved up to next. They still make them. I mean, they're nothing spectacular, guys. You can get them for 10. I think this was a $9.99 one at a fishing store I got. You can see it real well. It's a Zipco 202. Push button. Let's line out. Reel it. Stops the line, guys. See it hit. Oh. The drag set called drag. I'll show you how to set that where a little bitty fish ain't gonna take off running with it, guys. I'll show you how to set the drag. First of all, we gotta mount this to the pole, put a bobber and sinker and hook on it, and that'll be today's episode. Something simple, but just for a beginning fisherman, just to get you guys on the water. What you need to get for maybe 30 bucks, you guys can get you some hooks, some sinkers. They're cheap, $1 or $2. Bobbers a couple bucks. Your pole and your rod, you can get them. I said 30 bucks. You're out in the water having fun. Get you out of the house. Something you can do as a family. So today's episode, we're going to get on with that. I'm going to aim my phone down at the table so I can show you how I put all this together. So give me 1 second here, guys. Okay, everyone. Just some basics here. Personally, I like the Eagle Claw hooks. I already got this package cut open here. And I'll show you kind of why I like the Eagle Claw. I mean, you guys can have your own preference of hooks. Eagle Claw, the reason I like the Eagle Claw hooks, my hand in here so it focuses. See that little twist in the hook at the end? I like that, guys. I mean, you can have just a straight hook. With the Eagle Claw, it's gonna, as it comes out, it could twist. The twist, I like that little twist. I think you catch more fish that way. You don't lose as many. I've bought hooks that are just straight without the little twist here and at the end of the shank. I've actually taken my pliers and I put the little bend in it. I just like that little twist at the end. And Eagle Claw hooks is the one that I prefer that does that. Bobber stoppers, guys. You know, you can use the old type of bobber. You just pull the spring up, wrap your line around, and a little groove there. These, if you're fishing only a couple feet of water, is okay. You can see this one's been around a little bit. It's an older bobber. The reason I don't like these, if I'm fishing in the lake and I'm in, say, 4 foot of water and I decide to go 20 foot of water, this is stuck on my line, and as I go to reel it in, it's going to hit the end of my pole. And if I got 20 foot of line out, I got 20 foot of line, I got to try to cast it, won't reel into my line, or into my reel. So I don't really care for these. I used them when I was a kid. Yes, it'll get you on the water. What I like, see the bobber, there's bobber stoppers here. This is the kind of bobber I like. There's a hole all the way through it, guys. Your string goes all the way through it. The bobber stopper will stop it. So if you want to set it at 20 foot deep, you can just slide it, and the bobber stopper will go up into your reel, and you don't have so much line to cast, so much line just dangling out there. I like a slip bobber. They call them slip bobber because it slips up and down your line. Your sinker will stop it down here. Sinkers, guys. That's what a sinker looks like for your basic fisherman. This will stop it. Sorry, I bumped the camera, guys. This will stop it from going down past your hook. Your bobber stopper, these will stop it from going any higher. Plus, it will set your depth. I just got a simple Zipco 202, probably about I said $9 reel. Here's it out of the box, guys. Sorry, keep bumping everything. So simple Zipco 202. Like I said before, push the button. That lets the line out. Turn the reel, the handle. That'll lock it in place. You see the drag's a little off yet. So plus, I want more drag. Less drag. I want more. Getting a little harder to pull out. That's about right there. So that's your drag. You want that set, guys. You get a big fish on. You don't want him breaking your line immediately. You want him to grab this and have a little, as you jerk, have a little give there, guys. You don't want this solid. So I always set the drag. Once I get it back on the pole, I will set the drag a little bit better then too. But to show you how the plus and minus works on a drag. Sometimes it's around the handle of the drag or handle of the reel. It'll be a dial. This one happens to be on the back. So that's a simple Zipco 202 slip bobber, which I'll show you how today to put on. Sinkers, guys. I like the Pac-Man kind of looking sinkers like this that clip on, but I like the tail. See the tail here? If you clip this on your line, you crimp it with a pair of pliers on your line. You got it on your line, you want to fasten it in the spot, so you crimp it on your line. If you ever want to off or move it, you grab that tail That'll reopen it back up. If you just got a round sinker without this tail, you're not gonna get it off very easy, guys. I don't like using my pocket knife because if you cut your line or whatever else. So then once you crimp it back on, see me pass my finger here, that'll tail open back up a little bit. So if you as you buy sinkers, get some with the little tail, guys, so you can open and close it. Always carry a nice pair of pliers on hand. You crimp your line, cut your line, whatever you need to do. Okay, and we got into the fishing pole. As it just a simple fishing pole. Actually, Walmart had it, so that's where I will say I got it from. To attach your rod to your reel, pretty simple, guys. Most of them have a screw tightener right here. Take your reel, slide it in a groove on there, and hold it with one hand. You just tighten her on, guys and gals. Sorry, I say guys. Anybody. So now my rod is attached to my reel. You know, I check this every once in a while, make sure it stays tight. Most of them stay pretty tight. So I now have my rod on my reel. I won't go through it all, guys, but hit the button. I'll pull the line out. And I already kind of done it a little bit. Go through each eyelet, guys. So run through each eyelet all the way to the end of your pole. So once you have that done, I'll then open my bobber stoppers up. I already have one of them open, guys. There'll be little things, I don't know, I kind of call them a little dog bone. You see them in there? And there's a red ball. The red ball is to keep that little dog bone from going to the top of your bobber. It's just kind of a spacer in there. So instead of me showing you how to put this on, I'm going to draw it on the board a little bit, guys. I got a whiteboard behind me here. It's easier to see than my hands going all over it. I got kind of big hands, guys. It's easier for me to draw how I want you guys to do this. So give me a second here. I'll put it on the whiteboard. So we're back at our whiteboard here. So that little dog bone on the bobber stopper. A little closer here. Sorry, guys. Yes, size does not. Picture is larger than what it is. So it's two little holes, guys. What's it look like? You put the red ball on. It's got a hole for your line to go through it. And then your bobber. No, sorry, not the best, guys, but so it's kind of the setup. I will show you how I want to reel this in. So we'll go with some purple fishing line, guys. So the line I want coming through here, guys, with your line coming down, come out of the hole, go around, back around again, and then come out. So it's maybe like 2 total rounds. This is your fishing line. So that's really, I like it. If you get too many lines in here, guys, or too many wraps, it's gonna be so tight you won't be able to move it up and down to change your depth. If you want to go from here and then straight down to here, or just one loop, if it's too loose, it will move as you cast it. Your bobber, when it goes in the water, the bobber's going to bump against everything. It's going to move it. I like going, I said, a half and a half in a hole. So that's two. That's a total of 2 rounds. Go down, come out of the first one, go around, and then back out. And then put the little ball in, run your line through the little red ball, and then through your bobber down to your hook. So sorry, I ain't the best drawing, guys, in the world, but I'll show you what it looks like here now. So I was trying to explain, guys. I said, these your camera keep us on the focus at the table. Come on, find my finger. There. There, we'll try something a little bit different here, guys. So there you can see a little bit of it. Now it's going in the top, wrapped around once, and comes back out. That's about the right tension you want on that bobber stopper. I got the little ball already on there. As well as my bobber then, guys. That'll set my depth. Now that little bobber stopper will go into my reel. The ball will slide along with the bobber, so you can change depths really easy. And then not have to worry about 20 foot of line or 10 foot of line hanging out when you're trying to cast it. You can have just a few feet of line and cast. So this is the reason I like a bobber stopper. You can change depths easily as you move around the lake or wherever you're at. Find different fishing holes. You don't have to keep taking your bobber on and off and crimping your line, causing a weak spot. Talking about weak spots. Knots are weak spots. If guys got any knots in your lines, get them out. And I said that's one reason I don't like the little clip-on bobbers. If you got a knot, it's a weak spot. So I got a hook started here. This one I'll probably draw on the whiteboard because it's going to be kind of really hard for me to show you guys how to tie a hook on the right way. So we were in Minnesota a couple weeks ago, and my son was running the line just through the eyelet of the hook once and then tying a knot. He kept having broken lines on bigger fish, bass that were breaking his line. And my daughter, I had rigged her pole up. I went through the eyelet twice. As you can see here, I come through, I come back around, I go through the eyelet twice. Knots are weak spots. So to create this knot, make this knot a weak spot, I go around the eyelet twice, or in through the eyelet twice, so it is stronger. My daughter never had a broken line at her hook knot. My son did. When he started double doing it, he never had no more broken lines. From that point, I'm going to twist it around. I forget the name of this knot, guys. It's what I've used for years and years and years. It's been a proven knot. Sorry, I got purple on my thumb. Okay, this can be hard to show on camera, but there's a little hole, opening right here by my top of the eyelet hook. I'm going to run my line through that. Sorry, guys, my hand's going to be in the way. I said my hands are big enough that plus I'm looking through a camera, which is not easier when you're doing this like three-dimensional. Give me a second, guys. No, I know at this point it's looking kind of strange because I've went around, I came back through. It looks like a big mess, and it's not. I'll draw it on the whiteboard so you guys can see it easier. But coming through like that, you create another little loop, you go through that, and you make your knot. I said I will show you on the whiteboard. Okay, back to the whiteboard, guys. Here's my pretty little hook that the fish love to bite. No bait on it. So what I was trying to show you, bring my line down, go through the knot, through the loop. But I do it a second time, guys. I come back through again. I was trying to show you there. I come through twice. That strengthens it instead of just one piece of line touching. I now have two pieces of line touching the top of that hook head or hook. So it's a little. You get tension on it, and it ain't gonna snap on you guys. Then I take my hook and I'll twist it around and around and around. I want this line going around my line like that. So at that point, take the end of my line, this huge loop I just made here, I want to come through that loop, and then back through this loop. I know it looks kind of congested, guys, but just bring your line. Bring your line down, go through your eyelet, your hook twice, come up, make it go around your line a couple times, come back down, and go through the loop you just made. So two loops, twist it, come back through the loop you just made on top of your hook, and then the loop you just made again, making that loop, come back through. When you pull that tight, it's going to look, if your line come down, and it's going to look like this with these all tight, and a little bit of a thing coming off top of your hook head. Sorry it's not orange, guys, but this is your hook head. So like I said, I'll draw it one more time. Top of your hook, come down, go through twice, come up, take your hook. I twist my hook around multiple times to make my line go around this line. A loop you got made here, bring it through. The loop you just made, bring it through again. Pull it all tight. So like I said, when I'm done, my line is around my hook. Sorry guys, I keep bumping the camera because I'm watching my hand. First episode, I'm going to have my little bloopers here, guys. We'll work things out as we go along. I don't know, can't see it, but you can see it go around multiple times there. Most times I'll take my fingernail. If you got fingernails, I'll hold my hook. Make sure you're not putting that in your fingers, guys. I like my fingernail and I kind of pull it down. Also grab this, what's left. I'll pull it tight like this. Take my fingernail again. Kind of keep sliding it down. I want a nice tight knot. Now a nice tight knot. A nice tight knot like that. And you get those little bit hanging off. I want a little bit, but not enough where it tickles the nose of the fish, guys. You know, fish comes up here and wants to bite the worm or the minnow or whatever you got on there. He don't want that tickling him in the nose, guys. So at this point, I'll take my scissors or pliers, whichever I have handy. And I'll leave about a 1/4 inch or so of that left. I want enough where if a bigger fish gets on here and pulls it tight, I don't want to slip it through the knot. I want a little bit of the tail. Like I said, not enough where it's going to tickle the nose of the fish, guys. You know, when you take a bite of a hot dog or a hamburger, you really don't want something tickling you in the nose like a hair, guys. Fish don't like that either, so I might have left a little bit much there, but you want to leave some. Like I said, if a bigger fish gets on here and pulls this knot even tighter, you want some string that's going to hold and not go through the knot head. Knot head? Yeah, I'm a knot head. That's a Sasquatch. That's our Sasquatch buddy. He's the knot head around here. So at any rate, we don't have the slip bobber. Everything on with the hook. I want some weight on this. Otherwise, your bait's just going to dangle around in the water. Plus, you want a little weight to help your bobber stand up straight, to hold your bait down, as well as the cast easy. So, back to our sinkers, guys. I apologize for our first episode. I'll watch it and get the flaws out. Now, I don't want it too close. I don't want the fish seeing this a whole lot. I don't want to bump them in the head. So I go up about 6 inches, guys. Right now I'm just pushing it on my fingertips. I just crimped it with my finger. Oops. Alright, so trying to watch it through the camera. Not as easy as doing it. It's right by my face. So kind of know where I want it. Smush it on my finger. There it's hanging on. Now here, I don't want to crimp it too tight, or I'm going to crimp the line and weaken the line. I don't want to crimp it not enough where the sinker's going to move up and down my line either. It's just get in here and give it a nice, easy, just one good crimp. I mean, just a crimp. You can see the I made some indentions in the sinker. Sinker's just lead, guys. It's going to leave an little indentation. That's what I like. I'm pulling it here. I can move it. You can see I'm moving it a little bit. I don't like that. I got a little, not quite tight enough. I want it tighter. Whereas I'm casting, that sinker's not going to go down and land on top of my hook. Try this way a little bit. I crimped it again a little bit. I flattened her out even a little bit more. There, she's not moving on me now. And I said, you can't tell, but it's about 6 inches away from my hook. Bobber's all on there, guys. Like I said before, the sinker is stopping the bobber from going down to my hook. Plus it's added weight, keep the bobber from standing up, keep my bait down where I want it. On the top I got my little ball to keep my bobber stopper from going into my bobber. I can set the depth of whatever I want this at here, guys. See, I'm moving it through. So, fishing pole is on the rod and reel. Line's through. Double check my line is through all my eyelets on my pole. Usually I try to find a place to hook the hook so I don't get hooked. You know, as I'm handling it, guys, and reel some slack in. So my favorite place of choice is actually on the eyelet, guys. I'll take the hook, hook it on the eyelet, and then I'll pull everything tight. A little too tight. No. So I simply have the hook around the eyelet. I'm going to reel it, guys. See, yeah, there's way too much drag yet. So I'm going to tighten up a little bit more. The plus is add more tension. It's a little much, but I like. Better. I grab it with my hand. See how hard I can have to pull it out? It's about right. I want to be able to pull it, but not where it's super loose. So that's pretty much your setup, guys. Like I said, push this. As you cast it, as you come back and release the button, the line will go out. Once it hits the water, crank, pop this, it'll snap, and then all you do is reel and it'll come in, guys. So I'm gonna get a worm, guys, to show you how I line it. So for this, you can use a worm or a minnow. I'll show you how to put a worm on. Minnow, I guess if you're moving water, I'll go through the head. If it's out in a lake where you're sitting still, I like to keep the minnow alive and I'll hook it through this, like towards the tail where he still can swim. And crappie and stuff like that, they love the live bait. They like the live minnow. So I'll get a worm and show you guys how to do that real quick. Okay, guys, I don't have minnows, and I really don't want to do a live worm in case you guys, ucky. So found this artificial worm. He'll smile at you. Hey guys. So if you're just fishing for crappie, bluegill, you know, you don't need a whole chunk of worm. You can put it on hook. But I'll show you. I ripped it in half, guys. Now I like the hook. Went through the body. And I want to cover the hook up. See, come on, camera. Focus on my hand. Focus on the worm. There we go. So see, I'm going through the center of the worm. And artificial bait do the same thing. Come through the center of your artificial bait. If you can use a rubber worm, you can use rubber ones, guys. You ain't gonna use live bait. And come around. Not quite on there as good as I wanted to, but like I said, this is just fake bait. But I want the. I'll try this one more time. Right, I'll look through the camera. I kind of smush him on. And there. My shaft is pretty much covered up. The hook is hidden. Fish comes up. Look at it. He's got a green tongue. Right here. We'll turn around. There. My fish now has a red tongue. My fish comes up, bites this, and I pull. I feel the hook going in my thumb. Okay, it's got him, guys. I just, don't haphazardly put it on there. No, you can put a bait. You can hook it just like, well, it's hooked. Guys, that'll fall off. It's just not right. You're not covering up the shank. It may catch fish, but if you hide the hook and have the hook like I just had it, just on the inside of the worm, barely coming out, the fish can't see it. As soon as they bite it, it's going to come out. So that's how I bait a hook, guys, with a worm, artificial or live. So everyone, thanks for watching. Sorry it was a little bit of hit and miss here. It was my first episode trying to look through a camera, tie on knots, tie a bobber on. Let's go get the nice little whiteboard back here, guys. Show you how to put a bobber stopper on. Show you how a knot that I know is trust and truly actually works. I said my son and my daughter were catching the same size fish. He was having fish break his line. She was not. He wasn't twice through the hook, so we got him twice through the hook with his knot, and he quit breaking the line at the hook, or at the knot on the hook. So even if you're fishing for small fish, guys, go around twice. It's just it's that weak point. Wherever there's a knot is a weak point. Go around twice over your hook head like that. It'll strengthen that line at that weak point. And I said she never had one line broken at the knot, guys. So I mean, fish with teeth like pike and walleye, you're gonna break your line further up. My wife had one where the sinker was like 6 inches above the hook. Sinker was gone. She had a bite, she jerked up, the sinker was gone. So I mean, whatever it was, took a lot of the line for the sinker to be even gone, guys. That was a big fish. She felt it for a split second, and it took the drag out just for a split second, and the line was broke. So it was a big fish. Later on, like artificial baits, if you're actually going for big fish, we can put a steel leader on, guys. I can show you what a steel leader is in another episode. If you guys got any questions, any comments, how anything about fishing. I said I've fished from shore, from streams, from lakes. I've fished in the ocean, guys. On spring break with my buddy. I've caught saltwater fish, freshwater fish. So, should be some questions. What would you like in another episode? How to... Excuse me, guys. I've not been drinking. It's been Mountain Dew, guys. I'm sorry. It's been Mountain Dew. It's just dry out here today. It's about 80 degrees out here in Wisconsin. So, usually it's not quite this warm, but 6 o'clock at night here, and it's still pretty toasty out. It was 90 degrees last week. I did hear the crappie were biting and stuff, so the fish are still biting. But I said our new show is going to be called Hook, Line, and Sasquatch. I'm going to have a Facebook page, a YouTube page, where you can join both of those, like us, subscribe to us, shoot me comments. Hey, I'd like to know how to do this. What would you do for this? What kind of equipment would you use for this? I'll try to give you my best answers. I said I've been fishing since I could barely walk, so I kind of grew up knowing this stuff. And as I've fished with other fishermen and learned other things, as a simple line like this, I still use. My daughter and son want to go for panfish, crappie, bluegill. We'll still use a simple slip bobber setup. I said I will not use a clip bobber no more. It is too hard to move around. Plus it crimps your line. This, it's all right here. If I go 20 feet of line in, my little red bobber stopper I call a dog bone will go right in here and reel right up. And you don't have all this line hanging out. So like I said, for 30 bucks, teach you guys outside, fresh air, enjoy time with family and friends. I said Zebco it's a well brand name. It's been around since I've been around, longer. That's what I started with. They do work. They will wear out if you catch big fish after big fish. Zebcos will, they're not a $100 reel. They're a $9, $10. You can get them some for 30, 40 little higher end Zebcos, but they're an easy, simple reel to work, guys. And we can do other episodes like changing line. You got a fishing pole that's been around 3 or 4 years, and there's some tricks about getting the line off real quick. I mean, get this line off, how to put line back on. So, I mean, how to bait with artificial bait. I mean, I got all kinds of artificial bait. I got tackle boxes of, what this is for. This is for bass, for pike, for walleye. We can go into the spoon right here. If it's downwards, it's going to be a deep diver. If it's more of a flat spoon, it's going to be more of a surface diver. There's all kinds of little tricks of the trade, guys. Certain colors for certain times of the day. If it's cloudy, you want to do certain colors, we can get into that. So I said, down the road, I'm looking to get me an online store with Walmart being sold out, with people fishing more, and people not wanting to go out 2 stores to buy stuff. You gotta wear a mask, this and that. Probably within 2-3 weeks, I may have an online store going. Keep checking back at hooklineandsasquatch.com. Just how it's spelled up here without the little colon here, guys. Just hook, line, and Sasquatch, all one word.com. That soon may be out there. If so, I'll put it on my YouTube channel here. You guys check it out. I want to get high-end stuff. The people have been fishing for a long time. I also want to get just normal everyday fishing stuff on there. I don't want to focus on one group of people. Kids need to learn how to fish. It's fun. I said you can feed a family, have family fun with being out in the water, as well as if you want to be an avid fisherman and do it all the way up till pro level, I guess, guys. I want to have a wide range of stuff, and then the equipment to go along with it. If you're out and think it might rain, have some rain gear, some boots. If you're heading towards a stream that's muddy or something like that, guys, I want to have the equipment on there too. So keep an eye out for it. I'll let you know when it happens, but let me know what you guys want to see. You want to see the big mean Sasquatch? He ain't mean. He's just a fisherman like us, guys. We'll get the Sasquatch on here, and he can show you how some fishing tips. Just be careful. He's kind of clumsy in a boat. Them big feet of his step on things, and we've had to pull him out of the water a couple different times. They are pretty good swimmers, so. But we can get him on here. Casting poles with his big paws is kind of funny. He'd rather reach out and grab a fish than he would cast and catch, but yeah, he's a funny guy. So we can get the kids on here, show you some of the tricks they know. Hopefully, if I go fishing here in the next week or two, we'll take some pictures out in the lake and or from the stream, wherever we're at, and show you the different types of fish: crappie, bluegill. I mean, I'm naming off fish, and I'm like, what the heck's a bluegill? Bass, pike. I got a poster over here, guys. Maybe next episode I'll get the poster out. We'll go over types of fish. What kind are good to eat. So if you catch a fish, what is this? Yeah, it's you kind of eat, kind you want to throw back. So till then, guys, eat my artificial baits. They're pretty good tasting. So fish like them. Oh, the other one. So next time, guys, until next time, hook, line, and Sasquatch, let me know what you want to see. We'll go over some tips and tricks, and give me some more gummy worms.